Greetings and welcome. My name is Jake Reeson. I am a wildlife food forest garden designer, and today it is an advertising feature. I've been doing lots of live streams about the clifftop garden where I'm working at the moment, and I'm doing the landscaping there currently. Just to let you know that the clifftop, or I keep all my notes online. Basically, they're anonymized notes. And then people can see they can keep up to date with what's going on in the garden. So I've got it here on the if you go to notes.grwd.uk/clifftop, I'll just bring it up for you. Then you can see like these notes which are in progress. And if you go to the bottom, if you go to the bottom, then you can see the download. It's got the files, and it's also got the live stream. So I kind of put all these live streams that I do. It's more like, it's like a diary really, as much as anything else. Sketches, ideas for planting, and all sorts of things. I've also got lots of different I've got plant spreadsheets on there, and a schedule as well. So it's all kind of kept up to date and kind of works really well. So I am doing. Let's just get this up here. So I do a lot of wildlife garden design. I do remote garden design as well. So I just had a job not come through, which is a bit of a shame. It's a real shame. It's such a good job. It's such a nice setup for it and everything. But these things happen. So remote design is a speciality. Remote work a speciality as well. So if you know anyone who wants a food forest garden designing. And I call myself a wildlife designer, garden designer as well. Mostly because the forest gardening aspect of it is very closely related, and my intent is to bridge that gap between your traditional ornamental gardening, productive vegetable gardening, and wildlife gardening, because essentially they can be the same thing. So, the case in point. Look at this. This is a plan for the clifftop garden that I'm working on at the moment, and if you just look at the plants that I'm using, they're productive, or they're for wildlife, and they're ornamental, and or they're scented. So it's a scented wildlife ornamental food forest garden. So it's got everything going on. I mean, there's very few plants in there which aren't doing more than one thing. So either they're providing food, and they're a native plant providing habitat and food for insects, and flowers for pollinators, and habitat, and so there's a whole range of different stuff going on. Take what I always say as well. One of my key mantras is native where possible, and this is really about. Obviously, there are lots of non-native plants in a forest garden, but for the bulk of plants that you want to have in a garden, you want to have them native, because you want to support the food web. Which you support insects. You want insects to eat your plants, so that other things can then eat the insects. It's an integral part of it. So native where possible, even in an ornamental garden, even in a forest garden, native where possible. And where these come through is in the ground cover that you're using, and the wind breaks, because this is where you can get the bulk through. So for example, I'm using wild privet, native Ligustrum vulgare. I'll put that up. Wild privet is what I'm using as a hedging plant. There's a Bowles hybrid, which is a viminalis cross. Salix is willow, and then come on, my computer's slowing down. Salix viminalis, so that's a native as well. And then I'm also using as a Gelder rose, Viburnumopulus. There's dogwood as well, a native dogwood, which is Cornus sanguinea. So all these kind of different hedging plants, a variety of different hedging plants. There's other plants in there as well. Those are the hedging plants. A lot of them are native, and that kind of big bulk of them are native. Likewise with the ground cover plants, try to get native plants in there. So for example, the tapestry lawn that I'm doing, I'm just using solely natives. Tapestry lawns are really exciting. I must do a separate live stream about that. And then also I'm using lesser periwinkle, Vinca minor. This is it's a neophyte. It's only been around for a few hundred years in the UK, but it's still, it's kind of near native. And then I am using, I think I'm only using what I've got in terms of budget. So I'm using green strawberry, which is not a native, Fragaria viridis, and then I want to use mentha longifolia, which horse mint, which, I don't know. No, it's not a native. It's not a native either. But it's kind of, it's good for pollinators. And yeah, it is a close relation to other mints as well. So I'm not 100% perfect. Budget constraints is what I'm going to say about that. I haven't got the budget to go for the ground covers for those. But a lot of the stuff a lot of the other plants that I am using, a lot of the flowering plants that I'm using are native. So I've got Eupatorium cannabim, hemp agrimony. Oh crikey, there's absolutely loads of different stuff in there. English lavender. There's all sorts of different things, and I can't see any. Bronze fennel, so there's bronze fennel. There's lots of different stuff. Sweetwood rough. The creeping one. There's thyme. There's wild thyme, which isn't really from this area. There's Dianthus deltoides, maiden pink. So there's lots and lots of things that you can put in which are native, which will fit the bill. Yeah. Anyway, this is supposed to be about me advertising myself. So anyway, give us a shout if you want work doing. I design gardens and I landscape them as well. And I'm getting a bit too old for landscaping. So there we go. Thanks for watching, and do subscribe if you like the videos that I'm doing. And please do spread the word. I'm doing forest garden free beginners forest garden workshops, first Monday evening of the month, 7 p.m. first Monday, 7 to 8 p.m. I'm cutting back the amount of talking that I do, and I'm doing more listening about people. So there's a quarter of an hour of me talking, really, really concentrated about what a forest garden is. And then there's 40 minutes for people to discuss their own garden. So I'm going to try and ask some very pertinent questions to people who are taking part about their garden, what they're interested in, what they're trying to achieve, and set them on the right path. Even if that's, ideally, I will get some work out of it, but my main aim is to get people growing forest gardens, wildlife friendly food forest gardens. That's what I want to do. Okay, thank you very much for watching. See you again soon. Cheers, bye.